Hi there, welcome to Elm Colors. I'm Erica, and on today's video I am going to be doing some background work with these Distress inks and these awesome brushes that I got. These are Nuvo brushes, but I think that you could probably get them in any, I think there's several budget brands out there. I got these through scrapbook.com. And I just really like the Nuvo brand. I think they're, they're a member of Tonic Studios, which is a really good brand. So, so I'm going to do some background work in the Animorphia book. Let me move these to the side here. And I am going to do the background on the flamingo page that I finally finished. Just this side. I didn't finish this side yet. I don't know that it's going to happen, but I did finish this side coloring it in. And I also messed things up. You're probably not going to be able to even see it when you're down this far, but I'm going to move it closer. So I didn't wait long enough until some of my glitter eyes were done. So you've got like streaks coming out of the eyes of several of the characters, but that's okay. I am fine with that. So I'm going to put a page behind, and I need to select a few inks. I'm going to do a cloud kind of background. And so earlier I drew a cloud shape. Now this obviously doesn't reach all the way across the page, but I can move it to different angles and stuff, and I'm gonna angle things around and play around and see what I can do with that. But I thought it would just be a simple, easy background to do and add a little bit of something to the background. So, so I'm gonna pick out my colors and get all my brushes ready to go, and then we'll get started. Okay, so I've got these three colors picked out. So I've got picked raspberry, seedless preserves, and wilted violet. And I'm going to use these fun little different size brushes. So I've got a couple that are, so this is like my small in my normal size. And then I've got these two that are more rounded, and this tiny one, and then these two are skinnier brushes, so I can kind of get into certain spaces where maybe I wouldn't normally be able to get into. So I'm gonna just start with my big brush, start up at the top, see how we do, and go from there. And I think I'm going to do more purples up this way, and then we'll do pink down this way. That's my plan. And so I need to just verify that this color, I used to have these swatched out, but I don't know what I've done with it. So really quick, I'm just gonna kind of rub these on. Yeah, that one might be too, you can see the difference. So this one's the wilted violet, and this one's the seedless preserves. That might be too red. It's not quite the right color that I'm looking for. So I might come in and get, let's see what this milled lavender looks like. See, and that's almost too light. Let's go with it anyway. So we'll do the milled lavender, the picked raspberry, that one's super bright, and the wilted violet. Yeah. I'm just gonna go ahead and start with my regular brush, and I think I'm gonna start light at the top and then do pink and then purple down at the bottom. Let's just change all of my all of my plans. Make sure that you guys are good to go in frame. Okay. And so basically all you do is you take your brush and you rub it on the top of your ink pad, and I will do another little test for you. So once you pick up the ink, and this is such a light color, you're not going to really be able to see it, but then you brush it on and it creates a very light layer of that color. I don't know if you can see that there. So yeah, so I'm just going to start really lightly. I'm going to get quite a bit of color on my brush, as much as I can, and I'm just going to line up this stencil, this handmade stencil that I've got here. And I'm just brushing right off the edge of the stencil. Now I'm going to hold this here so that I can hold it steady. Sometimes with the bigger stencils you can get a little bit better, or not the bigger stencils, the bigger ink pads, you don't have to hold on to them quite as much. But then I'll move that out of the way and you can see, I hope you can see that. I'm going to bring it closer just so you can, just so I can make sure that you guys can see that. And it looks pretty cool. So now I'm going to just kind of move, so I had that stencil here. So really the only places that it would overlap, but I don't have to use the same stencil over and over, so I can just move this down and kind of angle it a little bit and do the same thing. So I'm going to brush on my ink. Okay. Let's think about this. So if I had that one there, yeah, we'll just do it just like that. That looks good to me. So on this one, I'm going to brush off the edge of the stencil onto the page. And on this side, I'm just going to come in and do my best to not get, I do need to come a little bit more off of that side. Yeah. And so this is a spot where you can get in here with a smaller brush. Get the ink on there, and that way you don't run the risk of going over your project too much. Okay, so there's my first layer. We're going to do it again with this color, and then I'm going to mix in a little bit of the pink. I think that's how I'm going to do this. So you don't want to just automatically repeat that same pattern. You want to kind of vary things. So I'm going to scoot this stencil over right about like that. I am going to use my smaller one now since there's some smaller areas I need to get in. I'm actually going to shift that up so that I can make sure not to overlap. And then just very gently, and with the smaller brushes, they leave a little bit more of a solid imprint. So if you start it on your stencil and then move onto the page, it blends it out a little bit better. So yeah, just this simple process over and over until you get the desired look that you want. And I do want to leave my stencil in place here because I'm going to add a little bit of the pink. So just very lightly grab some of that color, and we're going to start on the stencil and just kind of go off of the edge a little bit. If you start on the stencil, it takes the majority of the ink off of your brush for you. So there's a little bit of that one, and we're going to I'm going to use just a little post-it note here, and you can brush off the ink for the most part. So I usually start with my lighter colors and then work towards my darker colors. Okay, I'm going to kind of angle this now. So I want a little bit of a curved, I kind of want it to go like a curve like this. So let's see how I can, I probably could have cut that a little bit better because it's basically just like a straight shot across. There's a little bit of movement to it, but I wanted a little bit more. Okay. And you can see, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but I did pick up a little bit of that pink because I'm running it over the top of the cardstock here and dragging that color into it, but that's okay because I wanted that color in there. So I think what I'm gonna do is we're gonna have this part right here be the continuation of that. So very carefully so I don't get that color into my beak. And then I'm gonna go on this side. Okay. And then in spots where I feel like that maybe there needs to be a little bit more color, I can just come in with my brush and just pull that color up a little bit. It doesn't have to be perfect because that's the point of this, is that it's kind of a neat, just blending out effect. Okay, the next color I think is just gonna be straight pink, and this is gonna be a little trickier because I've got all of these characters here and I'm not sure how I want to start this. So I think I'm gonna start it like that. And I think I'm gonna angle it that way a little bit. And we're gonna use this baby one and see, I'm gonna use this one first. And this is a much brighter color than that milled lavender. So you do wanna start on the stencil first. And in areas where I think that I can come off of my stencil, I'm gonna attempt to do that. Okay, let's try this. Let's try this teeny tiny skinny one. See if we can get some, oh, it works wonderfully. So I'm gonna dab some of that off and just come straight out from that. Huh, that works great. Awesome. Let's try this baby one. Now this one is more just to kind of get some more of the color on the page, not necessarily to follow the stencil so much. I think that worked. All right, let's move this out of the way, see how it looks. Looks pretty good. I like it, I like it. All right, let's do a little bit more on this side. Let's see, how do I wanna, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna have anything here, but I think I will have it kind of at an angle right there. And this one can go back to a bigger brush because I don't need to overly worry about where that is. I'm gonna bring a little bit of pink into this area here. Just so it looks like maybe there's some clouds back in the background there. Yeah, I like that. And then the last layer, no, I'll just do it all the way down. Okay, let's get a little bit of this. I'm just gonna put one little cloud shape in there. Make it pretty bright. And then we'll go, yeah, let's do that shape because we haven't done that part yet. So let me grab the wilted violet and we'll use, I'm going to clean off my brush a little bit. Okay. Again, this is a pretty bright color, so I would test it on the, yeah, that's gonna work just fine. Oops. As I say it. Oops. But that's the nice thing about these distress inks is you can then go back in and make the area around it a little bit darker as well, so that it doesn't look like you messed up on purpose or messed up at all. Yeah, I like that. And then we'll do, let's just do a big bump right there. And I actually am going to use this baby one again. Okay, and then let's do this one around the rocket. Yeah, and then it's just kind of a hit and miss thing down here. I kind of want to use a darker purple or a darker blue. I don't have a whole lot of blues in my smaller sets. What is this? Testing out the Dusty Concord color that I have. Ooh, that's a good one. I think maybe we'll start mixing in some of that. So this is a pretty dark purple. And I'm going to have to use a couple different brushes in here as well. Where do we want to... Yeah, this one's going to be tricky. All right, let's give it a go. It's fun to play, right? Okay. Well, it overlapped just a little bit, but I don't think it's enough that it really distracts from the image that's colored already. So that's not too bad. And then we'll just kind of, I'm going to do a little bit there. And do a little bit in here. I don't know that you can tell these are clouds down here, but that's okay. Still creating a neat effect. Yeah, let's do a little bit right in there. And then I'm just gonna randomly pick some spots in here that I want to have a little bit of purple color in them. Not even worrying about the stencil so much anymore, just kind of blending in a little bit of purple to some of these spaces. All right, so there is my quick and easy Distress Ink background. I think this is a cute page. I like it. Even with the mess ups a little bit there and here and there, it's still really cute. And I have not finished one of these Kerby Rosanes Animorphia pages in so long. So I'm happy to have one done finally. It was supposed to be done last month, but that's okay. But yeah, so there you go. I hope that helped you in some way, and I hope that you know, if you have any kind of distress ink or any other kind of dye ink pads, that you give this technique a try. All right. As always, thanks so much for watching, and until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.